All right, welcome to the PlayStation Administration Podcast. That's what we're calling it. And joining me is the up-and-coming YouTube cult sensation, Frogboyx1Gaming, Andrew from Frogboyx1Gaming. How's it going, man?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've gotten my PS5, and I've been loving it every second of every day. I make it sweet.
So you like the way it stands like a sculpture?
Oh, yeah, it's like
over there, wherever you got it.
I physically like cannot stand it.
It's just so big, and
I know it's huge.
It's the first thing you see in the room.
I know, it's gigantic. I have to lay it down. I can't stand it up. It'll block my TV, like it's blocking your TV.
When I first got mine, I used to introduce people to it as the unicorn.
Yes,
I found a unicorn.
Yeah, I mean it's gigantic. It's a beast of a console. Like. I used to think that PS3 back in the day, that fat one, was big, but this is like
that one was pretty freaking big, man. Yeah. It's PS3 all over again. They are trying to recapture that anger from the fans of the PlayStation 3, man.
They like it or something. I don't know what they're doing.
They're doing it, but they pushed it forward. I think PS3 was when they upped the price to $59. Remember?
Yeah.
PlayStation 3, they upped the price to that system. And then they upped the price to $59 because we were paying $49 for PlayStation games for the longest time.
Yeah.
So that's when they upped it.
Yeah, and they upped it again here. The new generation is $70. Everybody blew a gasket, of course. They're still blowing gaskets about it. But you know, some of these games I feel like it's worth it. You just got the new Death Stranding. Is it worth the upgraded price from the last game?
Yeah, I believe Death Stranding is definitely worth the $70 for the director's cut version. Ghost of Tsushima, if you've never played the game and you're buying it for PlayStation 5 the first time, yes, it is definitely worth the $70. There's more than enough gameplay. It is unique enough gameplay, and I can't say the DualSense works great on it because that would be a lie to you, but the triggers do. I mean, the haptic feedback is not that great on it, but the DualSense, the triggers, yeah, you can feel like the bow and everything else, but that's not as world shattering to me as the haptics I'm feeling on Deathloop and Death Stranding.
Nice.
That feels good, man.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good things about Deathloop and Death Stranding as far as the controller goes. I just got Ghost of Tsushima and I just platinumed it yesterday, actually, on PS5. First time I ever played it. Incredible game, dude. And I was kind of blown away when I went to look online of gameplay from PS4, and I was seeing loading screens for the fast travel. I was like, "What?" Like it's like
there's no loading on the PS5. Nothing. It is pretty dang fast.
I was blown away.
Well, they already had loading in that game to like 16 seconds on PS4 Pro. Like it was fast. It was pretty fast. When Ghost of Tsushima came out, that game was like really, really good. And then we got hit with what was it? Did we get Ghost of Tsushima first, or did we get Last of Us 2?
I think it was Last of Us 2 first.
I think it was The Last of Us 2 first, like a month earlier.
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2 definitely took the visual experience up a notch.
Oh,
but dude, I mean honestly looking back after starting playing Death Stranding again, what was it really more impressive than Death Stranding though?
I don't know. Death Stranding looked good on PS4. I mean, even on PS4, it was looking like really good.
I played it on PS4 Pro. It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we were hitting like an 1800p checkerboard resolution, but it looked good because Decima's engine, their checkerboard, I feel like Decima's is one of the better ones because you're not getting all that like fuzzy hair look in it.
Yeah.
So Decima's is really good. Insomniac's temporal upscaling is freaking amazing. But then God of War's look great too. But then there's other like other third-party games when they try to do the checkerboarding, they're just not doing it as good. It's like they're half-assing it so that they can just get a higher resolution straight line, but then you're getting all your vegetation and your hair, and it looks all fuzzy. And me personally, I don't like that look. I think it's freaking ugly. But Sony first-party studios, they nail it every single freaking time.
Yeah, I feel like it's just because they they're forced to make it for just PlayStation, right? They don't have to spread it out over several, different consoles and PC and stuff like that.
And that is kind of hard because each system is going to deal with that differently.
Yeah.
I don't know if Xbox does the FP or what is it? The Rapid Pack Math. I don't know if the Xbox does Rapid Pack Math like the PlayStation 4 Pro does, and I'm pretty sure they brought that over to PlayStation 5. I think they do have rapid pack math, but I think they're going to be using that for the direct ML.
Yeah, that's the thing about your channel. If everybody hasn't subscribed to him yet, you go into the minutia of like actual like details of graphical fidelity and stuff like that, and the actual performance of games. And most of the games on PS5 right now, you could choose between like performance or fidelity. Like
that was one thing that I was really hoping that PlayStation would really move past this generation. Was that damn 30 frames a second?
Yeah, I feel like
cinematic. Yeah. Call it cinematic all you want, but that's just a euphemism for 30 frames a second, and it sucks, man. Yeah. 30 frames. This generation, we have such a higher fidelity visuals. Like they pack so much more content and so much more visual fidelity in there that the 30 frames a second makes it look like it's got really bad frame pacing, and it stutters so much. It looks bad. So
I don't know if you played Kenya.
I am glad.
I don't know if you switched it on Kenya. I saw you play Kenya. I don't know if you switched it to 60 frames, but I did, and it looks way better on 60. I don't know.
I'm playing. Yeah, I'm playing 60. It feels like it's stuttering, right, on the 4K.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like it. Like because there's so much more detail in these games now that the 30 frames a second, it can't keep up with the. Yeah. It doesn't look good. It makes everything look like it's got really bad frame pacing.
And back on PS4. Yeah, back on PS4, I used to not think of anything about 30 frames and 60 frames, but after playing games on 60 frames, you could tell a difference, like big time.
It just feels smoother. Yeah. It just feels so much better for you.
Unless your camera
frames is even.
Yeah, I've heard 120 frames is great. Unless your camera is like completely stationary, you're gonna be able to tell because you're moving the camera around and it'll stutter. So
what they did with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, by allowing your system to output at 120 frames a second, but then downscale that to 40 frames a second, you can only use this in 120 hertz mode on your TV because it splits evenly so that you get an actual locked 40 frames a second. It helps so much with that judder, and you still get to retain all your really high quality ray tracing, all your high quality visuals, so you can still play that at a decent visual output. Yeah. While still retaining, some sort of a smoother frame rate. So that's not bad. Yeah. If Sony's going to continue to go forward with the whole high fidelity visual thing the way they like to, I hope they implement that in every game going forward because that'll make the experience a lot better, and I would even appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm feeling it. Like by maybe 2 or 3 years from now, like games are going to be locked at 60 frames. Like This era of like 30 frames where you have to put the game on PS4 and PS5, it's coming to an end real soon. Like I feel like maybe like 1 or 2 more years before we just get PS5 games that are running at 60 frames. If God of War is at 60 frames,
Death Stranding proves it.
I know, yeah.
Death Stranding proves that you can have high fidelity visuals at 4K resolution running at 60 frames a second.
Yeah,
it proved it. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I'm grateful. I mean, we get the black bars and everything, but that actually adds to the immersion, believe it or not.
It looked really good.
It doesn't take anything away from it. It just makes it better.
And even though your streams, they can only go at like 1080p on a PS5 or whatever, the black bars make it look very cinematic. I like the look of it a lot. Did you play Ghost of Tsushima on the Kurosawa mode where it's black and white with the Japanese?
No, I couldn't do that. I tried to do. I did check it out. I did check that out, but I couldn't. I like my beautiful colors, man. I am gonna play through it on that mode. It's a really nice. It's a really nice addition to that game, and definitely well worth checking it out for a minute. But I love the color palettes in Ghost of Tsushima so much that it adds so much atmosphere to that game. The way everything moves and like your trees and your bushes and everything it's such a freaking it's such a good experience to just get into and continue to play. You said you platinumed that game.
I did everything. Yeah.
I did not platinum that. I still have I'm like 50 hours of gameplay into that game, and I'm still just running around dawdling, looking at the map and stuff. That's what I do with open world games.
Dude, with those type of games, I clear the map as I go. So like by the time I reached the last section of the game, I was like 100% on everything. Like I was just like maxed out on everything. That's how I play those games. And Sucker Punch did such an amazing job. It's such a huge leap from what they were doing with like Infamous and fucking Sly Cooper and shit. Like it's a huge leap. And I feel like the next game's going to be even better than that. Every little thing you collect in that game adds to your character in some way.
Yeah,
was like,
everything in trinkets, clothing, all the stuff to upgrade everything. Do you upgrade everything completely?
Oh yeah, I mean it's great.
I like that upgraded Ronin outfit. That thing looks pretty freaking sweet. My Ghost outfit's completely complete, and then I think there's a couple more that I completed, but I haven't completed every single one of them.
But yeah, very good. But I mean, the only downside is that by the time you upgrade everything, like you get a bunch of surplus of like supplies that you don't need anymore. Yeah. So that's something they need to like smooth out for the next game. But incredible.
Maybe make it like give you like a Resident Evil type, conserve stuff.
Oh yeah, something like that. But yeah, what a great game. Death Stranding, I can't wait to play. I was watching you play the director's cut. Oh my god. I just bring back so many memories. I
know, right? When I turned that on, because they're like, everybody was like freaking out on Twitter, like, oh my gosh, how can this save thing be like this? And I'm like, dude, it wasn't even that bad. I just turned it on, went into the menu, switched my save over, and it was just fine. It worked just great. Everything I had was right there. I mean,
and I probably
if you have any open orders or any deliveries, any kind of missions, it will cancel those out. But yeah, dude, it wasn't as convoluted as anybody says. Right when I turned it on my PlayStation 5, I loaded up my save. It was right there. I was like, okay, this is great.
And I'm probably going to start over from the beginning because that's another game I platinumed. I had 140 hours. Like it took forever.
Okay, so if you do start it over, or if you do carry your save over, it'll pop all those will pop right when you turn it on.
Nice.
They all started popping right when I turned it on. So if you do play through it again, don't load up your save and just put your just start a new game.
That's what I'm planning to do.
Oh, definitely worth it too. The experience, oh my gosh, definitely worth it. Yeah. I'm having a blast with it. Everything's just flooding back to me. All those memories, climbing or like hiking around the freaking BTs and stuff, man. That shit gets intense, but it's fun.
I just remember all like the emotional moments at the end of that game, and like Die Hardman moments, and the Cliff moment where he's like protecting BB at the end. Oh my god!
No, I do not want to spoil Cliff's story for anybody because I think that was the one that hit me the hardest.
It did.
It was like, wow, man, wow, that was pretty freaking heavy. I want to do this whole playthrough on my channel for everybody, but at the same time, I want them to experience this firsthand and not watching, through my gameplay because their experience is going to be completely different than mine. I mean, my experience from what you did is probably going to be different than what you did. I mean, my first time, you remember how like when I was going up there after I got past the BBs, I just went right back down the way I came up.
Yep.
Well, my first playthrough, I went all the way around the mountainside, all the way, to the right and went over that way. Yeah. And that was pretty tough. That was pretty fun. Like you can do whatever that experience is just so mind blowing.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to get it right now and wait a little bit because I got some other games to play right now. Like I still got to finish Kenya. Like I'm only like an hour into that. Did you finish it yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna tell you straight. With Kenya, it is definitely a safe game. It's fun to play. It looks great, but is it something that I have a yearning to play every day? No. I'll beat it. I'll eventually get through it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not I feel like it's fairly priced for $40, whatever. If you're into action adventure games, definitely pick it up and play through it. But if there's other games like Death Stranding or any other better games out there, dude, Kenya can wait. Kenya can wait until that other stuff has definitely been played.
Yes.
It's one of those. It's a filler game that's made to fill your time while you're waiting for the next big thing.
The next big thing. Which what is the next big game you're looking for PlayStation here?
PlayStation's next big one that's earliest on the release is going to be Horizon Forbidden West. That was one of my most anticipated games along with God of War. Gran Turismo 7, I'll definitely be picking that up.
Yeah, you're a big racing game fan.
I'll definitely play a lot of racing games, so Gran Turismo is definitely on there. I will, no matter what, pick up every single PlayStation first-party game this year or this generation. Along with the third-party timed exclusives that I wish they would move away from. Yeah. I do, just because of the fact that if you're a person that has both consoles and the Xbox version potentially could be better because of the more power, I don't think it's fair to hold people out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially for a game that you're going to pay $70 for. Like, do you really want a version that could potentially be a little bit less? I mean, like, you get something like Tales of Arise. It definitely has a 60 frames per second mode that you could play. 1620p. It's the same on Xbox, 1620p. But the 4K unlocked frame rate mode is where it really shines, because on Xbox it dang near holds that. And if you got VRR, it's perfect. On the PlayStation 5, it's dropping to like 50 frames a second. And I mean, you can kind of notice that, but it's not going to break the game by any means.
It's not
but
jarring. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that jarring, that look every now and then.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed with like frame rates, like the higher the frame rate gets, like it's kind of less and less apparent, like as you look at it. Like, somebody was like comparing like 110 frame rates to 120. There's no difference really. Like it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, anything over like 100 usually looks pretty decent for the most part, unless it doesn't have that V-Sync and then it like screen tears. Like screen tearing is so ugly. I think
were you getting any coloring problems with Ghost of Tsushima? Because like when it was raining, I was noticing some like coloring problems with the rain. Like it was looking like a purpley like green color as it was coming down, and I don't know if that had something to do with the lighting or something. It must have been I don't know if anybody else was having that problem, but like it's something I was noticing. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but like,
I don't know what it is about the PlayStation 5, but the colors just always kind of seemed off to me either way. If I compare the exact same game on the Xbox and the PlayStation, the color on the Xbox pops. It looks amazing. The color on the PlayStation 5 looks muted and it kind of looks a little toned down, and my TV's set for the exact same settings on both inputs. So
I don't know if it has something to do with the HDR on settings or something like that.
I need to figure out. I probably just need to have my TV professionally set for the PlayStation side. Because
I was actually looking at God of War for PS5. The PS4 version you can play on PS5. And people were having HDR problems, like setting it up with the game and stuff, and making the colors actually, look right. I had to play with it for like an hour to get it to look right. So it might be like that with like every game right now. I don't know. A lot of stuff that got smoothed out. I mean, PS5's only been out for a year, something like that.
Yeah,
we're still early on.
Well, it's for 10 months. We're just over 10 months now. The 13th of every month is another month, so we're getting closer to 11 months. So I mean, we're getting there. A lot of more people are starting to get these consoles in their hands. They're starting to experience this, and after 6 months of owning mine, last week was the first time I actually got a game that I was like, wow, this is a wow experience. Everything else, Returnal, I didn't get into that. I didn't really get in. I mean, Ratchet and Clank was good, but I mean, I felt like I cheated myself a little bit on that. If I wouldn't have rushed through that to get my review out, it probably would have been a better experience.
I mean, the second I platinumed that game, I had no need to go play it on challenge mode or whatever. Like you only need one playthrough of that game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a one playthrough game, a one and done, and so $70 for that experience is, for me, that's a bit too much, man.
Should have been 40. I feel like it should have been 40, just like the remake.
I think 60 would have been fine. Well, I mean, 40 would have been great, but I think 60 would have been fine. It wouldn't have felt as, I bought the freaking deluxe version of that, dude. I paid like $85 for that.
Damn.
I paid a lot of money for that.
Big Ratchet fan.
And I mean, me personally, I was fine with it because I got a visual showcase out of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, that visual showcase was stunted by the 30 frames a second because that update didn't come out till after I was done beating the game. So
they do have different modes now.
Now you can do that 120 hertz mode and play through that. But
yeah, I mean, that game was really impressing me with like draw distances. Like they actually had like objects there. It wasn't like a painted background. There were actual things there.
Yeah, I mean, the game looked good, and that's just the thing. It's like it's visually impressive, but it's a smaller experience. Like those worlds are pretty small.
Yeah,
they're not like super huge or anything.
I mean, the last big Ratchet and Clank game was like a crack in time. That's why we talk about size and length. Like that game was like massive compared to these games that they've been coming out lately.
I think they should. I think they should have made Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart more of an open world experience. They should have. It should have been open world. It should have been bigger. I think that the next one they do should definitely be an open world game.
That's the thing, though. Insomniac. We can talk about some of these PlayStation event games because Insomniac stole the show. Like they kind of they're dominating this generation as far as like PlayStation exclusives. Like
I'm really excited about Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
because that's going to be great. Wolverine.
I mean, they said rated M. They said they want to go mature with that game, so that'd be exciting.
Wolverine does have me a little bit, concerned, just because of the fact that in my whole life, Wolverine has never been like one of those like, oh my gosh, he's my favorite character. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man is amazing. Wolverine, on the other hand, he
doesn't do much. He slices up people. He says bud.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be good if it's mature rated, but I don't know. That's the only one I'm kind of a little bit concerned about. But
I don't know.
X-Men's really never been my thing. I never really cared about X-Men, period. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
If they made like a Captain America game, that would be pretty cool.
They did. They made a movie license game with that character, which people said was all right. I didn't play it. Same thing with Wolverine. I think X-Men Origins Wolverine had a game, and that was good. I played that. Like, if they make a game like that, it's fine.
Well, now that you got your PlayStation 5, you should pick up Marvel's Avengers.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Now that they've got Black Panther in there, they have put a lot of work into this game. The Black Panther DLC has turned things around to the point where I actually re-downloaded it. So, and I didn't delete it after I played it. So I'm still interested in kind of playing through it, some more.
Yep. I mean, I've noticed games are getting smaller too on PS5. Like Deathloop's only 30 gigs. Like
yeah,
and Kenya was 18 gigs, and
yeah.
So I think they are
definitely getting smaller, and I do. You know what? While we're here, I actually have some comparisons for your viewers right here. So
all 20 of them here. Here we go.
MotoGP 2020. I have it on both consoles. It's 14 gigs on the PS5, 18 on the Xbox. Watch Dogs Legion is 55 on PS5, 65 on Xbox, and I do have all the DLC for that. Dirt 5 is 51 on PS5, 63 on Xbox. AC Valhalla 72 on PlayStation 5, 103 on Xbox.
103?
I don't have the DLC. I don't have the DLC for the PlayStation 5 version, so I don't. So that one there, I'm kind of a little bit unsure. Ride 4, 35 gigs, 43 on Xbox. So I mean, you're basically averaging about 10 gigs. I mean, Tony Hawk is 23.89 on PlayStation 5 and 22 exactly on Xbox. So that one beat it out on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Tales of Arise, 37 on PlayStation 5, 40 on Xbox. So, I mean, yeah, dude, anywhere from 5 to 10 gigs on a lot of these games. So, I mean, that adds up. If you got 10 games and they're 10 gigs a piece, that's 100 gigs, man. That the PlayStation 5 is going to save you in storage space. But what I haven't been able to completely find out is if we're missing, texture resolution or any of that kind of stuff in any of these games, because a lot of these PlayStation 5 games that you're not going to see on Digital Foundry, like MotoGP 20, Ride 4, MotoGP, Supercross, WRC 10. A lot of these games are definitely running at a lower resolution on the PlayStation 5. I mean, you could clearly, obviously see it on WRC 10. This one here is very interesting. This one here has the most aggressive dynamic resolution I've ever seen on any game. When you're playing a game normally, you rarely ever notice that the dynamic resolution unless you're like pausing it and like zooming in and stuff like that. On WRC 10, you'll be driving around a corner and it'll just get blurry. It'll go like 1080p and it'll stay there long enough for you to be like, wow, that looks bad. And then like you keep driving it and it clears up. It doesn't do that on Xbox at all. And so, I mean, that's like the one outlier that I've seen. The experience is pretty decent all the way through, though. Well, there's a lot of screen tearing in that game, too, so that's bad.
Yeah, that's the minutia that you get into a lot. For me, it all comes down to these games that are coming out, man. Like, I know games are going to look better and better. Resolution's going to get better. Frame rate's going to get better, no matter what. Like, it's only up from here.
Yeah, we still don't even have next gen gaming engines yet. I mean, like these engines are still built for last gen. I mean, they haven't updated them with all the new feature sets that can be put in. So yeah, they're going to get optimized over time. We're going to move forward. We're going to get past this year, maybe next year. Hopefully it doesn't bleed over to another year, because like this year has already been pretty harsh. A lot of games getting pushed back. I mean, we should have had Gotham Knights already. We should have had freaking the Suicide Squad. There's so many games that we should have already had by now that have been pushed back. Dying Light 2 got pushed back again to 2022. Like, these pushbacks are really starting to get to me, you know, really bad.
Yeah, and I think the next big game really is like Far Cry 6. When's that coming out? I think
October 10th or something.
Yeah,
October 6th, sometime next month. It's pretty soon.
But I don't know about you, but the Far Cry series has always impressed me by just like the risks they take, like the characters and stuff like that. Like the Koresh character.
I'm gonna pick up 6 just to review it on the channel, but
it's almost the same game
5.
every time, though. It's almost the same.
I didn't beat 4. I didn't beat 3. I didn't beat any of the other ones because I love open world games, but I get into them, and I can't do it. Once I get to a certain point, I'm just like, I lose interest in those ones, and that sucks, man. Because I usually love Ubisoft open world games and never have a problem completing them, but those ones are just, I don't know.
Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 is shorter than most of them too. So I mean, that was a fun one.
I didn't even buy that until I just bought the backward compatible version that's actually updated for the Xbox or whatever. But
yeah, so
it's pretty nice.
So, are there any big games from the PlayStation event that caught your eye? There was this game called.
Well, we had Project Eve. Project Eve was one of the ones they showed. You know, KOTOR, you know, being updated for the PlayStation.
Let's talk about KOTOR for a second. Now, they were talking like it's an exclusive for PS5, but there's no way. It has to be a timed exclusive. But they keep saying,
I've been seeing things that say it's coming out on Xbox on the same time, but I think PlayStation might actually have like marketing rights to it, like they do with
that's what I'm thinking.
Like they do with you know, Call of Duty and stuff like that. Or I mean, if it is a timed exclusive, maybe it'll just be timed exclusive on DLC or some other stuff. Because I feel like they said they were adding stuff to this game. Instead of still early. We're just gonna have to see what happens.
I mean, that's a huge.
If it is timed exclusive, that is gonna be.
That's a huge get.
That is going to be ammo for the morons that
the fanboys,
their little fanboy stuff.
Yeah,
I like to just call things like I see them on my channel. You know, I just try to be honest. I try to, you know, I know I've been a little bit negative on the PlayStation stuff, but
it's only because your expectations are so high. You need it.
My expectations for my unrealistic expectations for the Death Stranding remake have been like blown away. That's like he freaking knocked it out of the park. I'm happy to see that my PlayStation 5 can run a game like Death Stranding at 4K resolution at 60 frames a second. That's all I wanted to freaking see, was something like that to make me a believer in my console. Because up till that point, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to have to accept 1440p at 60 frames a second. And I now have that. Or 1800p checkerboard rendered, like Kena Bridge of Spirits. I mean, I guess it all really just falls down to the developer, how good they are. And I mean, Kojima's a freaking master, dude. That guy's a wizard.
Dude,
to be able to do that,
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's going to get a chance to do another one for PlayStation, it feels like. I think Norman Reedus came out and said something about they're working on another Death Stranding.
Or he might have just been talking about
any other game that they're working on.
The DLC.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind
what happens with Die Hardman, you know what I mean?
We need to see more of that. But I wouldn't mind Kojima making an entirely new game as well. Like anything that guy comes up with, I feel like it's going to be good. And Death Stranding was one of the first Kojima games I really got into. Like Metal Gear Solid, I would play those games, but the story wouldn't really grab me.
I was hit and miss with a lot of the Metal Gears.
But this story and Death Stranding
2 and 5 are probably my favorite.
Yeah. But blown away by Death Stranding, and I don't know you might be the only person other than me that likes it. I mean, I know other people that like it, but like nobody really talks about.
We should start a club.
I know we really should talk about every segment of the game. Club. Most people don't even know about that second map, the middle map that's gigantic. Like they don't even know about it. They never even got that far. You know what I'm saying?
I know. They quit before it even starts getting good. And it's like, gosh dang, man, what is wrong with you gamers? Do you really need to be drip-fed fucking bullshit all day long?
Dude, most people don't finish games. Look at the trophies for like any game. It's always the last trophy, the beat the game trophy, is like 30%. You know what I'm saying? Like of the people that started the game. So
I need to look at that because I never really gave a shit about trophies. I usually just play my games to get what I need to get out of them. And I've never been a trophy hunter, and I don't think I'm ever going to start.
Well, that's the thing, though. I only get all the trophies for the games I really like. Like a game I'm really loving.
Death Stranding, I'm sitting at 61 trophies or 61%, 42 out of the 63.
That's pretty good. I mean, you probably just have to clean up stuff. That's probably all you got.
Ghost of Tsushima, I'm sitting at 37% on that one. I got 1 gold, 4 silver.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
That's another one where all you have to do is collect everything. You get the platinum, really. It's a 1 playthrough thing.
Really? And freaking Ghost of Tsushima, you just collect everything?
I know, yeah. It takes like an extra 15 hours on top of the game, but that's the thing.
I think I beat that game in like 27 hours, and I'm at like 50 plus. So,
so at least with PlayStation exclusives, you can go to the trophy list, and it'll tell you the percentage of people that got that trophy. So that's how you could tell who's beating games and whatnot, because this information gets loaded up online instantly the second you can get the trophy. So it's amazing that how few gamers actually beat games.
Complete episode 14. Lou, silver trophy for that. 923.
It's good. It's good. I felt so proud when I got that platinum. I was like 140 hours. Like, oh fuck. You know what I'm saying? I think I
got about 60 hours into Death Stranding.
I know. That's pretty much.
I played it for that whole 4. That's kind of the way I consume games, man. Because I work all week and I'm usually too tired to come home and sit and play video games. So I'll play like my racing games, stuff like that during the week. And then my heavy story games, I usually just have to try to get through them in a weekend because, I got to have my story. So I usually just try to focus on those throughout the weekend.
Yes. So I'm looking at the percentages right now of Ghost of Tsushima. The last trophy where you kill your uncle.
I didn't kill him.
I did. It's what he wanted. It's what you want. Your honor.
You killed him?
Oh yeah.
I killed him. I didn't kill him. Now he chases me everywhere. That's out of the bushes every time I get close to. No,
this is impressive because 48% of people got that trophy. So that's almost half the people that played the game finished it. So that's really good. That's that's much better than Last of Us 2. Most people didn't finish it.
You would think that. You would think that the PlayStation first party games would have more of a completion rate, but they just don't.
That's just gamers in general, though. Like that's the thing with I think why Game Pass is so successful, because most gamers just play a game for a couple hours and they move on to the next game. So that's why Game Pass is like really nice for a lot of people.
Game Pass is good for a lot of people that don't want to play through games.
Yeah, but like if you're looking forward to a game and like you're gonna beat it, like I usually buy those games full price anyway. If I know it's like a game I want. And I know I'm going to spend like my full time playing it, Did
you not buy Death Stranding as a deal or digital?
Oh no, I bought the physical.
You bought it on disc.
PS4.
Do you still have it?
Steelbook. Yeah, I still have it. Can you upgrade it?
Yeah, put it in your system and upgrade it for $10, man.
Really? Nice.
$10. $10 freaking dollars, dude. Yep. Nice. Stick it in there, upgrade it for $10. Download your what was it, like 69 gigs, man?
That's nice. I think I still have it. I don't know if I took the disc back and I kept the case. That's what I might have did, because I had the Steelbook case for that.
Cheated yourself, man. That's why I buy them digital now, dude. I just don't even care. It's not even worth the loss of money that you take on those.
Dude, especially on
PS5. Half your money gone to rent that game, dude.
Yeah.
Half your money to rent that game for half your money. Are you seriously wanting to pay that? Not me. Just keep it, and then when you have it on your Xbox, it gets a free upgrade. So you're like, ooh, cool.
Dude, getting games digitally is so convenient, dude. I love like on PS5. Like I have a few digital, and I just switch between them instantly. Like
they're already downloaded when they launch.
They're ready to go.
Start playing them right at freaking midnight.
I can go from watching a YouTube video, to playing a game in a second. Go to Netflix, watch an episode, go back to a game, play. It's so convenient. I don't have to get up.
I don't see any reason to buy a disc anymore. Like I just don't see it. I mean, not only are you helping the environment by not freaking having all that plastic being created, like and you're still getting your same quality content. You're just not getting, dude. If my house burns down, all I got to do is replace my consoles.
Yeah.
That's it. I just got to replace my consoles. I still have my whole game library. that I don't have to worry about, dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, nobody has access to that but me.
Yeah, and I have like 300 games on my library, like that I can just download at any time for my PS5. Because most of these games that I had on PS4, you can just play right on your PS5. Most of them have improvements too, like a lot of them do.
Any game that had dynamic resolution or unlocked frame rates definitely will take advantage of the PlayStation 5 and kick you right up to the highest it can output at.
But there's
there's a lot of games in there that do that.
But there's only a handful of games that take advantage of the controller, which I don't know about you, but I think that the controller does not get talked about enough. Like this thing is. I haven't played anything like it. With a game that uses it right, I haven't experienced anything like that. You know
if the game is done right, it's worth talking about. If the game is not done right, then what's the point? Because
exactly.
I mean,
it's just a regular controller. But like, dude, like, did you go back to your PS4 lately? Have you picked up a PS4 controller after playing with that PS5 controller? No. It's like when you used to play with your PS4 and then you pick up your PS3 controller. That kind of lightness and like plastic feeling. That's what I get from my PS4 controller now, because that's how like heavy duty this PS5
I traded my PS4 Pro in for a memory card on my Xbox.
And another thing I noticed, I mean, you can look up videos about this controller on PS5. The black part right here. You could snap this off. You can just pop it off.
Put a different face on there. Yeah.
It's super customizable. And that's what I noticed about the PS5 in general. It is customizable. You could take these white panels off and put anything there, you know, like it's so cool. Like, because for the longest time, like, you know, consoles really weren't customizable. You would have to get creative. But now they kind of like, they're encouraging it. But yeah, that controller is something else, dude. So
we were supposed to talk about the games that they announced, but
yeah, I mean, other than Forspoken, what are you looking forward to? Everyone's looking for Forspoken. Yeah,
I mean, I thought that PlayStation show was good because they showed us, you know, some of what they've got working on. Nothing is coming out until the end of the year. We've basically gotten, or till next year, we've basically gotten everything that we're going to get till then. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty hyped for what's coming.
I saw you were really disappointed by no dates for anything, really. Like, we know Spider-Man's 2023. We know God of War's 2023.
It gets pretty, like, I mean, that's what we were all asking Sony to do, was like, oh, man, tell us what you got. Stop being so cagey, blah, blah, blah. And they come out and they just basically tell us
here's
the same stuff, the same beat around the bush stuff that they have been, but at least showing us, you know, some kind of,
these games showing us
a little bit. Yeah. Even freaking Grand Theft Auto Remaster got pushed back till March.
What could they possibly be doing on that game?
I mean, you've got Xbox that's going to be launching all of these games throughout the end of the year. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been playing that Halo beta, and
is it good?
Yeah, dude, that shit's on point. Like it feels good. It looks great. So I mean, like, you got Halo coming out at the end of the year. You know, people talking about that, and then like, I mean, Deathloop is good. Death Stranding is good, but
it's
at the end of the day,
it's niche.
Death Stranding is an old game, man. It's 2 freaking years old now,
and it's for people like us that like it. Like, it's not for like new people, I don't think.
And Deathloop, man, gosh, dude, the PlayStation. I feel like the PlayStation ecosystem is going to freaking kill that game before it even really gets a. And then Game Pass will have to revive it next year. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Is it online functionality? Like, I heard you can play Deathloop without online at all.
Yeah, you can play it without online, and that's why the PlayStation brand is going to kill that game.
Yeah,
because everybody's going to play through it. They're going to be like,
and then move on to the next.
That wasn't that great. The AI was stupid and blah blah blah. And then before they even try to, and they'll have it offline the whole time. And they'll play through it, and having it online is like the best way to play that game. Man, I streamed that game a lot last week.
Yeah.
And tried to be happy about it and everything. But when you're sitting there waiting to get into a match for 15 minutes because everybody wants to turn their thing off, I could tell right then and there that game's not going to go far on the PlayStation ecosystem. And I put out a video, you know, telling people, come on, man, play this game the way it's supposed to be played. Yeah. Please don't cheat yourself.
Yeah, I still know when I'm going to pick it up. I have no idea when I'm going to pick it up.
The longer you wait to pick that game up,
the worse it's going to get.
The greater the chances it's going to be that either everybody's super overpowered and it's going to be a painful experience for you. It's going to be like the Dark Souls, or everybody's going to quit playing it because oh man, it wasn't a 10, it was like a 2.3.
Mhm.
It was a great concept and all, but it got freaking pretty boring.
Well, you know,
You know what I mean?
I feel like that's the PlayStation ecosystem, though. They're more single player focused anyway. Even though most of them don't even finish these single player games. Like, I can't believe the trash that Last of Us 2 got. I can't believe the trash that game
believe
got.
it or not, a lot of PlayStation players are all about those freaking those 4 games, those 4 or 5 games every year.
Mhm.
They get the most advertising and they get the most hype. You know,
Yeah.
Call of Duty, freaking FIFA, Madden, all of these games that people buy these things for, and then they'll buy the occasional Sony first party game.
Yeah.
They will. It's just they're creatures of habit when it comes to PlayStation. You know, they're creatures of habit, and all of the content is basically the same. So at the end of the day, I mean, that's why I'm glad I decided to just get both and move forward with, you know, gaming on everything. So
I mean, well, most people play. That's the only games they play. It's Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Madden. Like, that's like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's so yeah. You wonder why Call of Duty is the same every year. It's because people just buy it. Like, it's not. They're not looking for anything different.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Exactly. And Vanguard looks.
literally.
I was
That
liking
shit looks
Vanguard.
trash. That shit
I was
looks
liking
like
it.
trash.
Yeah. It looks
Man.
like the old school.
If I was to hold Vanguard up against the new Halo, yeah, dude, it's not even a comparison. Halo blows it away, dude.
You
blows
gotta compare it
away.
against World at War. Like, that's what it is. It's like more of that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, even
12-year-old
like even EA's Battlefield 5 looked better than that, dude.
oh yeah.
That Frostbite engine compared to that Call of Duty thing.
Oh yeah.
Modern Warfare is the only good one they've had come out in the last couple of years.
Mm.
Vanguard's going to be garbage. I'm not going to buy that one.
I don't know if I remember the last Call of Duty I played. I think it was like, I don't know. It was like right after Ghost or something like that. Whatever that one was. I think that was the last one I played.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. Maybe World War II.
That was pretty good.
I don't know. World War II
No.
one was so disappointing. By the time you get to the end of that game, that's so disappointing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And this new one's made by those guys, Sledgehammer.
Yeah. I mean,
They made the last World War II one.
do you remember Raven? That
Raven, yeah.
Singularity and stuff. When are they ever going to make another game like that? I want that, but they're stuck with doing Call of
Probably
Duty
a
stuff.
long time.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, but yeah. Any other games for the PS event that you on your mind here?
I mean, God
Other
of
than
War.
Like, that was the big
Yeah,
one.
God of War. Like, everything else was just like everything they showed us in the first half of the show is coming to Xbox too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even really matter.
It was that PlayStation
Everything else that
Studio
they showed us,
section
the
at end.
PlayStation games they showed us. Oh yeah, the freaking Uncharted upgrades.
Yeah,
Those are going to be good.
I saw
I'm
comparisons on
definitely
YouTube.
picking those up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look
I'm
pretty
definitely picking those up. No problem with that. If we can get a 4K 60 out of those games with some better, textures and stuff, I'd be happy.
I was shocked that Naughty Dog didn't announce Fractions or anything multiplayer. for Last of Us.
They've got an event tomorrow or something that they're going to announce.
I think
new
it's
content.
today, isn't it? Like, was
Is
it
it
the
today,
Last
the
of Us thing
26th?
today? Oh, it's,
The Last of Us Day. When's the Last of Us Day?
is it tomorrow?
I think they were going tomorrow. Yeah, they're going to announce some more stuff tomorrow.
That's when this is going to be
Right.
uploaded, by the way. That's when this recording is going to be uploaded is tomorrow. So,
Well, now you're going to have to edit that out.
oh, I'm going to have to edit this out too because my dog's barking.
You're going to edit everything else I say out of there and just leave all the good stuff. No, I'm just joking.
And anything negative is going to edit out.
It's going to be like everything positive. No, I'm just joking. It's fine. Man, you just got to tell your people the truth, man. Like, PlayStation 5 is an amazing experience. If you're going from PS4 or PS4 Pro to a PlayStation 5, hands
Quite the
down,
jump.
worth every single freaking penny of it.
It's a beast of a console. It's massive.
But do I think
Ridiculous.
you should leave the Xbox ecosystem if you've got an Xbox One X and go get a PlayStation 5? No, I don't think you should do that. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense to jump ship from Microsoft to go to PlayStation this generation, or vice versa, because you've already got all your money invested, in your PlayStation 4 games. So if that's where you were gaming last, yeah, definitely upgrade to that, and then maybe pick up the second system. But I do recommend everybody have both consoles.
Oh yeah, that's
at least
easier.
your PlayStation 5, an Xbox, and Game Pass.
Yeah, but with me, I've never jumped ship from PlayStation. It's never happened. You know what I'm saying? I've never got another console but this.
Well, you're gonna have to, man.
Up. I see the PS5 as like the ultimate like media machine.
Filthy rich YouTuber like yourself, you should have every console.
I'm not filthy rich. It took me 6 months to save up for this fucking thing. I had to overspend for this. But I see it as the ultimate like media machine. It's got my 4K Blu-ray player. I can play my 4K movies on it. I can watch all my apps on it. That's kind of like what I wanted it for anyway. I have no complaints.
Is definitely a good. Yeah. It's definitely a good freaking system to have. I mean, if I only had the PlayStation 5, I would be completely happy. You know what I mean? Like I would be satisfied.
Yeah.
If I only had the Xbox Series X, I don't necessarily think I'd be completely satisfied because I wouldn't have my PlayStation first party games.
Well, so Xbox is getting like the next Elder Scrolls on it, exclusively. Pretty impressive.
Xbox is definitely going to take us places this generation that I feel like this is going to be closer to the 360 Xbox One or the original Xbox than it is to Xbox One. Like the original Xbox and 360, heavily focused on Western RPGs, stuff like that, games that I like. So yeah, we're gonna be sitting pretty.
And I don't know if you can remember back to those early days of PS. The first year of PS3, what did we have? We had Lair. You know what I'm saying? You had Heavenly Sword. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we had crap on the PlayStation 3.
Like, it wasn't until like 5 years later, like they started to get like really good games that took advantage of the console.
I think it started turning around when we got Uncharted and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. And I was talking to you in the DMs about this, like the jump from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 3 or Last of Us,
it was night and day. Yeah,
it's insane.
It was night and day, man. We did definitely the PlayStation 3 definitely grew. I mean, we got the infamous games. We got
Resistance,
like Test Drive Unlimited. That game was pretty freaking cool. I mean, we had a lot of good experiences on PlayStation 3, and that's the generation that I rarely played on the Xbox 360, dude. I was so like, man, PlayStation better. I was so in that freaking mindset that I just didn't even care,
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I was in like high school at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I was always fighting with the Xbox people. I'm like, hey, go play your Halo as I'm playing Uncharted.
I remember. I mean, like. One of my favorite experiences when I first booted that first Assassin's Creed up on that PlayStation 3, and you're leaving from and you're leaving, you're headed to like out on the trail, and you could see the particles in the air like flying around you and shit. It looked so damn cool, and I was like, wow, man, this is great. Yeah. I remember thinking back then, and now you look back at any PlayStation 3 game or Xbox 360 game, and it's like they all lack color. They all lack, just a whole bunch of stuff. Atmosphere is completely gone.
It's tough to imagine what games are going to look like 7 years from now. Like, because they're going to look way better than right now. Like,
I'm just a couple years from now. As soon as we get the new rendering technologies and techniques and stuff, games are going to blow up and they're going to look better than Death Stranding, man. Death Stranding looks great.
I can't imagine it. Like.
I love that. Yeah. I love the way the geometry and everything looks in Death Stranding. Like if games all look like that with that type of world, oh gosh, dude. Oh gosh. That's why, seeing that my PS5 can handle that, I'm pretty stoked.
That's why I don't get people that like hate Death Stranding. I don't like it at all. I'm like, come on, man. You got at least
I could play that game just to look at how beautiful it is, dude. Seriously.
It's a good podcast game too. Like you just like listen to a podcast while playing that, But yeah, and I wonder if that trash Last of Us 2, I don't get them either. Like,
did you already play The Last of Us 2?
Oh yeah, played through it, platinumed it. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought the story was fine. Everyone says woke Last of Us, whatever the woke joke is.
It took a little while to actually start caring about what's her name, Abby. But once I started caring about Abby, it was a lot better.
The moment where she's scared of heights when she's crossing the buildings on the scaffolding, like I was like, oh, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I started caring about her when I fought that boss in the bottom of
the Rat King.
The hospital.
Oh my god, like
that guy. That's when I started caring.
Yeah, straight. Yeah, but that game technically, like looking at it, the facial animations, the way the characters move, insane. It's insane. Like Kenya, the way she moves is crap compared to the way Ellie moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the way the animations are, it's like
the animations in all of those games are pretty good.
Yeah, it's night and day though. Like when you look at the way they turn to like the left, Kenya's like a robot, like turning like this.
Yeah, I know. Jumps and does a little spin thing. I'm like, what the freak, dude?
Yeah. But still, yeah.
I don't feel like I wasted my money with Kana, but I don't have like the desire to like truck through that game like all quick. You know, it's like I can come back to that whenever I want to.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh man, I'm losing my voice.
Is there anything else you want to talk about with PlayStation games here? We're almost at the hour mark, so.
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely happy with my PlayStation experience over the last couple of weeks. It's definitely it's gotten more interesting for me. What they showed us, most of that's coming out on Xbox, so I'll probably be buying it on Xbox unless it's timed exclusive on PlayStation.
Yeah, you're not going to wait.
Games,
yeah, I'm not waiting 2 years on Knights of the Old Knights of the Old Republic. I'm not waiting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not waiting. I will not wait for a game to come out on another system. If it's a timed exclusive, I'm just going to buy it there. I screwed myself with Tomb Raider on the Xbox because I waited on for the PlayStation when I should have just bought an Xbox and played it then.
Yeah,
because by the time you get to that year, like it doesn't feel like a new experience, you know, because you've been on YouTube, you've seen things, you've seen stuff that spoiled game elements. So yeah, dude, just if it that's why it's imperative to just have both consoles, because if they keep doing this crap, I want the version right when it comes out. And if the Xbox version of Kana or whatever else is better, I'll buy it on them too. Whatever.
Yeah, man. Of course, if you're listening to this podcast, you're a PlayStation fan, so I'm not going to convince you to get an Xbox.
Yeah. If you're here, you don't need to buy an Xbox, but it is food for thought, man.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely worth thinking about.
Get the extra.
At least grab yourself a Series S and Game Pass so you can play some Halo, because it's the best Halo ever. Yes. And you're not going to need Call of Duty this year because it sucks.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, screw Call of Duty. Screw Assassin's Creed for that matter. All right? I'm sick of Assassin's Creed while we're at it. And fuck Madden. And
if you want to see unlopsided content, come join my channel too, man.
Yeah, if you want to see a guy talk about both systems and Nintendo, because Nintendo
complains about PlayStation constantly. No. Everything bad I say about PlayStation comes from the heart. I've been a PlayStation guy for 26 years. I've bought every single freaking PlayStation, every peripheral, every freaking first-party game except for a small few. Like seriously, a small few of them. So yeah, I've got more than enough money invested in the PlayStation ecosystem to feel like I can have an opinion.
But I think the one thing we can agree on is Nintendo sucks. All right? Who's going to get that shit? For Mario? Are you kidding me? Get out of here, you Nintendo fans. You know what I'm saying?
I got a Switch. I got 2 Switches. I actually just bought Castlevania Advanced Collection on the Switch.
Oh, yeah?
Because that is a freaking good place to play it. You know, sitting there in bed playing some Castlevania. $20 for 4 games. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, it's definitely the ultimate mobile thing, that Switch.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I wanted to play Breath of the Wild for the longest time, but
it's good.
I don't have a Switch.
It's pretty good.
I don't have a Switch.
Worth buying a Switch.
Maybe when it's $100.
You could get it on Wii U, dude.
Oh yeah,
you can play that on Wii U.
I don't have that either.
They come out for both. You can get a Wii U pretty cheap, man. They're like $49.99. No.
All right, well, I'm gonna get a Wii U, and I'm gonna sell my PS5, get a Wii U, and all the accessories.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks everybody for listening. All 50 of you, 25 of you. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who wants to listen.
Well, I mean, you're putting it up as a video, so you'll probably get more.
Oh yeah, I like to put up like little trailers behind us talking, so it's just like audio and stuff. But yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see y'all next one. Bye bye.